Chinelo was a shy lady who worked very hard at her job. One day, her boss called her into the office. Chinelo, you have been promoted. You are now the manager of the department, he said with a big smile. Chinelo was very happy. She decided to go out and celebrate. She went to a nearby bar and started drinking. After a while, she got drunk. She didn't know that two men were trying to put sleeping pills in her drink. Just as the men were about to drop the pill into her glass, her neighbor, Chike, walked in. Chike saw what was happening and quickly stopped them. Hey, leave her alone, Chike shouted. The man got scared and ran away. Chinelo was too drunk to understand what was happening. Chike helped her out of the bar and took her to his apartment. The next morning, Chinelo woke up with a headache. She looked around and saw she was in a strange room. She was very scared until Chike walked in. Good morning, Chinelo. You were very drunk last night. I had to bring you here to keep you safe, Chike explained. Chinelo was shocked and embarrassed. Did, did we? She asked Chike. Chike nodded. Yes, we did. I'm sorry. I should have stopped, but I couldn't. Chinelo felt terrible. She quickly dressed and went back to her apartment. She tried to avoid Chike, but they kept bumping into each other. Eventually, they started talking and soon fell in love. They got married and had two beautiful children. 4 years into their marriage, things changed. Chinelo had become very busy with the kids and work. Chike started to think she was no longer attractive. He stopped caring for her and the kids. He found a side chick named Adaeze and began cheating on Chinelo. One day, Chike came home and found Adaeze had stolen all the money and their things and also disappeared. He felt terrible for all what he has done to Chinelo. He wanted to find Chinelo and apologize, but she was gone. Chike sat in his empty apartment, feeling the weight of his mistakes. He missed Chinelo and the children terribly. He decided to look for them, hoping to make things right. Meanwhile, Chinelo had moved to another city with. She found a new job and was trying her best to be strong for her children. One evening, as she was tucking them into bed, Ifeoma asked, Mommy, where is Daddy? Chinelo sighed and sat on the edge of the bed. Daddy made some mistake, Ifeoma, but we are safe now, and that's what matters. In the city, Chike was asking everyone he knew if they had seen Chinelo. He went to her old workplace, talked to few friends, and even visited her favorite spots, but no one knew where she had gone. One day, as he was walking through the market, two women were talking about a hardworking woman who moved to their neighborhood with her two children after her husband left with a side chick. Chike's heart skipped a beat. He followed the woman discreetly and soon found himself in front of a modest apartment. He knocked on the door, his heart pounding. After a moment, the door opened and there stood Chinelo, her eyes wide open, her eyes widening in surprise. Chike, what are you doing here? She asked, her voice a mix of shock. I know I don't deserve your forgiveness, but please let me explain. Chinelo took a deep breath and stepped outside, closing the door behind her. You have 5 minutes, she said. Crossing her arms, Chike poured out his heart, telling her how sorry he was and how much he missed her and the kids. He told her about Daisy and how she had stolen everything for him. I was a fool, Chinelo. I see that now. Please give me a chance to make things right, he begged. Chinelo looked at him, her eyes filled with tears. Chike, it's not that simple. The children and I have built a new life here. I can't let you walk back in and expect everything to be alright. Chike nodded, understanding her pain. I don't expect it to be easy. I just want to prove to you that I've changed. I will do whatever it takes. Chinelo looked down. Thinking about everything they had been through, she still loved him, but trust was not something that could be easily be rebuilt. Chinelo hesitated, her heart torn between the pain of the past and the hope for a better future. She glanced back at Ifeoma and Chinedu, who were peeking out from behind her legs. "Mommy, who is he?" Ifeoma whispered, her eyes wide with uncertainty. Chinelo crouched down to their level and put a reassuring hand on their shoulders. "This is Daddy, Ifeoma, Chinedu. He made a mistake. He's here to talk to us." Chike knelt down too, looking at his children with tears in his eyes. "I'm your dad, Ifeoma, Chinedu. I'm so sorry I haven't been here for you. I want to make things right." Ifeoma looked at her mother, unsure of what to say. Chinelo took a deep breath and looked at Chike. "Chike, you hurt us deeply," she said. "But I can see you're genuinely sorry. I need time to think about this." Chike nodded. "I understand. Please just give me a chance." Chinelo looked down at her children. "Chike, you can come inside, but this is just for the kids' sake, so they can know their father. Don't expect things to go back to the way they were." Chike nodded eagerly. He followed Chinelo inside, feeling a mix of hope and anxiety. They sat down in the living room, and Chike told them about his life after Chinelo left, how he regretted everything and had been looking for them ever since. Chinelo listened, feeling a rush of emotions. She missed Chike, but it had broken her heart. She had to be sure that he had really changed. Chinelo spent the next few days observing Chike's interaction with Informa and Chinedu. She watched as they played with them, helped them with their homework, and tucked them into bed. Chike was patient and loving, and the children quickly warmed up to him. One evening, after putting the children to bed, Chinelo and Chike sat down to talk. "Now I can see you've changed, Chike," Chinelo began quietly. "But I need to know that you won't hurt us again. I can't go through that pain another time." Chike took her hands in his. "Chinelo, I promise you, I have learned my lesson. I will spend the rest of my life making it up to you and the kids. Please, give me another chance." Chinelo searched his eyes, looking for any sign of deceit, but all she saw was love and regret. She took a deep breath and nodded slowly. "Chike, let's take it slow, for the children's sake," she agreed. Chike smiled with relief and pulled her into a hug. "Thank you, Chinelo. You won't regret this, I promise." They spent the next few weeks cautiously rebuilding their relationship. Chike moved into Chinelo's apartment, and together they started to work on their marriage. Chike took on more responsibility at home and supported Chinelo in her career. They went to counseling together and learned how to communicate better. As time passed, Chinelo began to see the man she fell in love with all those years ago. Chike was more attentive and loving than ever before. Ifeoma and Chinedu were thrilled to have their dad back, and they flourished under his care. Chike moved into Chinelo's apartment, and together they started to work on their marriage. Chike took on more responsibility at home and supported Chinelo in her career. They went to counseling together and learned how to communicate better. As time passed, Chinelo began to see the man she fell in love with all those years ago. Chike was more attentive and loving than ever before. Ifeoma and Chinedu were thrilled to have their dad back, and they flourished under his care. One evening, as Chinelo watched Chike reading a bedtime story to their children, she felt a warm feeling spread through her heart. Maybe, just maybe, they could be a family again. But Chinelo knew they still had a long way to go. Trust took time to rebuild, and she could not forget the pain of the past. However, she was willing to try for the sake of her children and the love she still held for Chike. As months turned into years, Chinelo and Chike continued to work on their marriage. They had their ups and downs, but their love for each other and their children kept strong. One day, Chike surprised Chinelo with a romantic dinner at their favorite restaurant. As they sat across from each other, Chike took her hands in his and looked deeply into her eyes. "Chinelo, you have no idea how much you mean to me," he said softly. "I know I have made mistakes in the past, but I'm so grateful for the second chance you have given to me. I promise to love you and our family with all my heart for the rest of my life." Chinelo felt tears welling up in her eyes. She squeezed his hand tightly. "I love you too, Chike, and I believe in us." They smiled at each other, their hearts full of hope for the future. Chike leaned across the table and kissed Chinelo gently on the lips. It was a kiss filled with gratitude, love, and a promise for the future. They enjoyed their dinner together, talking about the good times and making plans for their family. As they walked back home, hand in hand, he felt blessed to have Chinelo and the children back in his life. He knew he had to make every moment count. Back at home, Chinelo tucked Ifeoma and Chinedu into bed. Chike joined them and read a bedtime story together. It felt like a perfect family moment, one they hadn't shared in a long time. After the children had fallen asleep, Chike and Chinelo sat on the couch, enjoying the quiet moments together. "Chinelo, I have been thinking," Chike started, his voice filled with determination. "I want to renew our vows. I want to show you and the children how committed I am to this family." Chinelo looked at him, surprised but touched. "Renew our vows?" "Yes," Chike said earnestly. "I want to make a public declaration of my love and commitment to you. I want to promise to cherish and support you, to be there for you and the kids, no matter what." Chinelo smiled, feeling a rush of emotion. "Chike, that's that's a beautiful idea." Chike took her hands in his. "Will you do me the honor of renewing our vows with me, Chinelo?" Chinelo nodded, tears of happiness in her eyes. "Yes, Chike, I would love that." They hugged each other tightly, feeling the weight of their past struggles lifting off their shoulders. They knew they had a long way to go, but they were ready to face the future together. After some weeks, Chike and Chinelo started planning their vow renewal ceremony. They kept it simple, inviting close friends and family. Ifeoma and Chinedu were excited about the ceremony, feeling the love and joy that had returned to their home. On the day of the ceremony, Chike stood nervously at the altar, waiting for Chinelo to walk down the aisle. When he saw her, his breath caught in his throat. She looked radiant in her gown, a smile on her face that lit up the room. Chinelo walked towards him, her heart pounding with happiness. When she reached Chike, they held hands and faced each other, surrounded by their loved ones. They exchanged vows that spoke of forgiveness, love, and the promise of a future together. They slipped rings onto each other's fingers, symbols of their renewed commitment. "I now pronounce you husband and wife again," the official declared with a smile. Chike kissed Chinelo, feeling more in love than ever before. They turned to their family and friends, who cheered and clapped. As they celebrated, Chinelo looked at Chike with gratitude and hope. They had been through so much but had come out stronger on the other side. She knew there would be challenges ahead, but she was confident they could face them together. As they danced together, surrounded by their children and loved ones, Chinelo whispered in Chike's ear, "I love you, Chike. Thank you for never giving up on us. Whispering back, I love you too, Chinelo. I will always be here for you no matter what. And together, they danced into their future. A future filled with love and forgiveness. Chike and Chinelo continued to build their life together. Second chance they had been given. Their vow renewal ceremony marked a new beginning for their family, and they were determined to make the most of it. In the months that followed, Chike made sure to show Chinelo and the children how much they meant to him. He helped out more around the house, took Ifeoma and Chinedu on outings, and supported Chinelo in her careers and goals. They communicated openly and honestly, working through any issues that arose. Chinelo too put effort into rebuilding trust and allowing herself to fully forgive Chike. She saw the changes he had made and she appreciated his commitment to their family. Slowly but surely, her heart began to heal. However, life had unexpected plan for them. One day, tragedy struck. Chike was involved in a fatal accident on his way back from work. Chinelo received the devastating news at the hospital, where she rushed to be with him. Chinelo sat by Chike's bedside, holding his hand tightly, tears streaming down her face. The doctors did everything they could, but Chike lost his life. The news shattered their family. Chinelo was devastated, struggling to come to terms with the sudden loss of her beloved husband. They were inconsolable, unable to understand why their father had to leave them. Funeral for Chike. Surrounded by friends and family who mourned his loss, Chinelo tried her best to stay strong for her children, but her heart was broken into pieces. She missed Chike terribly, and the pain seemed unbearable at times. Days turned into weeks, and then months. Family tried to navigate life without their pillar of strength. Chinelo focused on supporting her children and keeping their family together, but the pain lingered. Chinelo struggled with grief and loneliness, missing Chike's presence every day. She tried to find solace in memories of their time together and held on to the love he had given them. Chinelo found comfort in the memory of their time together, but the ache in her heart remained. As time passed, Chinelo and her children learned to cope with their loss, but life was never the same. They cherished the memories of Chike. Chinelo found comfort in their children, who reminded her of the strength, resilience they shared as a family. Years later, as Chinelo watched her children grow into adulthood, she often wondered how different their lives would have been if Chike were still with them. She missed his laughter, his love, and his unwavering support. Chinelo knew that Chike would always be part of their family, guiding them from above. She held on to the love they had shared, finding solace in the memories that would never fade. And as the sun sets on another day, Chinelo sat quietly in her garden, thinking of Chike and the life they had built together. She whispered a prayer, hoping that wherever he was, he knew how much they loved him. The family faced many challenges, but through it all, they had learned the power of love, resilience, and the strength of family bonds. And through their story, Chinelo knew that their love would live on forever in their hearts. And though their story had a heartbreaking ending, Chinelo knew that their love would forever live on. This is the end of my story. Thank you all for watching my video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and turn on the notification bell below